guys.
Robert Fodder.
Yes.
Not much of one.
So that movie Groundhog Day will be back. But I've got a lot of guys playing well right now. Defense is playing well. I thought great job by our goalie. Was really happy for him. That should give his, I haven't done the percentages, but it should give him a save percentage of over 9 and a goals against, you know, I guess it would be under 2, maybe right around 2, because he played 4 periods in about, what, 3 minutes, Barry? So that's really happy for him because we're going to get Dell back at some point. That helps him, you know, get an opportunity somewhere else, which he was having a hard time doing. So our penalty kill was great again. I think we're #1 in the league now. Pretty good when you have one of the top offensive teams, and then you partner that up with really good penalty killing. So not much to look at on the tape tonight. That last 10-second power play threw off our power play percentage. We were 1 for 4, wasn't too bad. But I'd like to get our power play going a little bit better. But I can't complain right now, so I won't. Well, I'm gonna have a light skate tomorrow and then get back on that bus. Huh? I have to check this. I have to check the schedule. So, and then Sunday we get to play somebody else again. So Asachuk is going back to Providence tomorrow. He was supposed to go to Worcester, but by the time I got a hold of them, because Providence had called, they were already out in Newfoundland. So it was going to probably take him 2 days to get there. So, you know, maybe the last we see of Asachuk, he's a pretty good player and a young guy. So obviously I think he can use the potential to do there. You never know when you loan a player, you could get him back or never see him again. So we wish him good luck. It'll be tough to replace, but we're getting some healthy guys back. It's good to get Messier back the last couple of days. And he didn't really get to practice with us much or handle the puck, so I think he'll get a little better every day. So right now, that'll put us right at 16 skaters, because I don't think Tyler will be ready. Maybe ready Sunday, maybe not by next week is more probable. So the numbers are dwindling a little bit. But I'm on the phones a little bit, kind of keeping an eye out. And some of my guys that I had sitting in the weeds are gone now, so we'll see what happens with that. Anybody got any questions?
How does that change your chemistry of the team when you see players moving on, such as Asachuk and others? How does that change the chemistry of the team?
Well, I think what you'd like to see is players are, you know, feel good that somebody's getting an opportunity and hope that it's their next. Because we do have some guys who are going to go up, you know, but obviously they might have to wait a little bit. You know, we've got to make sure we've got some numbers. But, you know, if they need a player, like if Worcester needs a player, and we'll send them no matter what. Right now they have enough guys, so but they may flip-flop a guy or two, so we'll see.
Any comment on Smith going overseas?
It was disappointing. You know, I mean, when I signed him, it was a deal that I made with his agent that, you know, I wasn't going to bring him in short term. If he was looking to go back to Europe, then, you know, I didn't want to sign him, and he was committed to try to make it to the American League in the NHL, but then he came back and fired his agent. So it was pretty shocking to me when he came in. You know, was I surprised? No, but, you know, when I make a deal with players, you know, that will loan them to the American League, but, you know, I don't give them permission to leave to go to Europe, so I can mess with them. And we have his USA Hockey card, and they'll call for that, and then I can slow down the process by saying, no, we're not, you know, we don't want to approve the transfer. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do there. I mean, he's a local guy, so, you know, it may not work for him in Europe. I mean, it didn't work the first place he went, so I haven't decided yet exactly what, you know, how I'll handle that.
The situation with Clark and Tulsa on Thursday night, where they basically jumped on his back and hit his head. Why was that not a suspension? I mean, to me, it looked the same as what Penner did, and Penner got thrown out, so I mean.
Yeah, I didn't think it looked as bad on the tape, and the referee is just gonna, because the tape is so far away, he's just gonna, you know, he's saying, well, he just punched him once, and I thought it should have been a 5. I thought it should have been, I mean, but Lutz is you know, that's Lutz. I mean, he never squares off, and I had one of the toughest teams in hockey, and I never even saw him fight when he played for us. You know, so, but he never squares up. He jumped, who was it, we had?
Berube.
Yeah, Berube in the
Eye
playoffs,
gouge.
and then I gouged him. I mean, he's you know, the only way you can get guys like him is to kind of, I used to do something, I had a motto that just do something worse to them than they did to you, and that usually stops it, but the problem now is videotape. You can't do that stuff anymore. Trouble.
Well, it looked bad in person.
Yeah.
Because we were there.
Well, I would imagine at some point Clarkie's gonna try to probably do something, get him back. I mean, you know, I have to watch what I say, because they'll say, oh, you were part of that retribution, but 2 eyes for an eye somewhere down the line.
Well, he has done a really good job this year of keeping himself and just kind of turning the other cheek, and so I definitely think we've seen a change in his, you know.
Well, you know, he's an irritating guy. I mean, he's an irritating guy, so he's gonna get under the other team's skin a little bit, and we like that. I mean, he draws penalties. He drew a penalty that we scored on early in the first period, and it was against Lutz, and you know, I don't like to see guys get away with stuff like that, and you know, it was really frustrating in the last game. They had 10 power plays up there, and it was like, you know, should have been wearing figure skates. It was just, I couldn't believe how soft they were going down, and they were rewarded with one power play after another, and the same thing wasn't working. It was frustrating, you know, frustrating.
Any other questions? You had so many good teams in San Diego, and I've heard you say that you think this is the most skilled teams you've coached. What do they have that the other teams that you haven't passed really did?
Well, obviously, you know, Costello and Combs make some pretty magnificent plays, but I think that we've got some other guys that haven't scored as much. Jasma is probably going to break out any day now. This is where he kind of got started last year, but you know, Steffes has been really good. Hansen and, you know, Asich. I mean, we've got a lot of guys, and I think as some guys get more ice time, we'll get, you know, I think our defense leads the league in scoring. I don't think I know. I haven't really checked the stats on it, but I'm sure we lead the league in scoring for defensemen by probably a pretty good margin. And I think that makes it hard to defend, that your defense jumping up into play. Baker leads the team in goals now, and it's not a bad first-year player. I'd like to get a couple more of those guys. That Schutron that we made the deal for just told me today that he got his job with Hockey Night in Canada, so that was a little bit, would have been nice to pick him up, but we're not too bad without him.
I thought Young made a great play when he was trying to keep the puck in the zone at the blue line, but it looked like he might lose it, so he pushed it all the way back to the
Oh,
goal.
yeah.
That was a smart
I was
move.
thinking that maybe he was trying to give him a shot on goal for his safety. That's what I said to Riley on the play. I said, shot on goal. I don't think we counted it.
Since we're playing mostly our CHL division really heavily right now.
Yeah.
How do you plan for the regular season games we'll have against the older ECHL teams, and how do you plan for playoffs when you're going against? I mean, how do you judge yourself against those people when you're not?
I really haven't started. Well, I was going to pull some games of some of the top teams like Toledo and just see what they're doing. And I look at some of the bottom teams that, you know, like we're going to go play, I think it's Toledo, Kalamazoo, and Cincinnati, or Indy. Yeah, Indy. I don't think Indy's very good. So, I mean, I'll watch some video, and then you kind of compare. I mean, I knew that we would have some guys that have already been good in the ECHL, and some guys that could have played there, but that chose to play here. So I'm not surprised that we're doing well. Obviously, we're playing a division that doesn't maybe have as many ECHL defensemen. I think that helps our scoring a little bit, but you know, by the time we play those guys, a lot of rosters change in the ECHL. I mean, you know, ours could change dramatically. I'm hoping not dramatically, but you know, it's a long ways away. But by the playoffs, you know, San Jose told me that they would give us as much help as we wanted. in getting players and sending draft picks and depending on where they were, so, you know, you could see like we've done in the past where we added some players at the end that could help us a lot.
Steve, what kind of player are you looking to bring in next? What?
Well, you know, I go back and forth a little bit on physical guys that could play, you know, like some of the, but, you know, we have so much offense, I want to be careful with that. You know, I think we're pretty physical as it is, so just well-rounded players, but, I mean, I would like some guys that finish their checks, maybe, you know, and can play, because I think we got plenty of skill, but, you know, the one thing I've learned in the ECHL, you can lose your skill quick. So you gotta have guys that can play. If you get too many guys that you know, that are role players and you lose some top guys, everybody's always going up a notch when you lose guys, because typically you're losing your best players. You know, usually they start with the young guys first, but, you know, I mean, obviously Combs has been in the AHL every year, the last 3 or 4 years, so we have some risk, but we'll just have to see what happens.
And what do you expect for the game on Friday? Do you expect it's going to be a lot more roughness, fighting, or?
I really think so. I mean, we're going to play assholes, and I mean, he hasn't fought yet. He can fight if he chooses to, but he can. So we'll have the tougher team in the lineup, and I'm not sure they really have a team that wants to play like that. You know, I mean, they have other guys that have opportunities to do stuff, but they're not really looking to do it. So I'm not real concerned with that being a real physical game. Who knows? But I think we got the guys that if it is, we'll be okay.
And I take it Joe will go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wanted to say something, and I didn't want to make it I just wanted to say it at the end. We you know, Scotty, our bus driver, you know, it's heartbreaking that, you know, you go in, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys were here when we were leaving. I think it was after a game, and he got so sick that he had to end up going to the hospital, and, you know, found out he had cancer, and within a month he's gone. It's just, it's unbelievable. So you got to give your loved ones a hug, because you never know. You never know how long you're going to be around. So it's painful. His wife just saw her outside the locker room, but who knows who knows, but hopefully we all catch up later. All right? Thanks for coming.